everybody. My name is Dave Juskow, and this is the Comedy Cellar Football Show. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Oh, luck be a lady. Tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Football Show. It's Tuesday at 8 Eastern Standard Time, and as always, every Tuesday until the end of this month, we will be bringing you fun and games and, for some reason, football picks. I mean, when I first started the show, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but I think it's morphed into this other thing where all of a sudden we have, like, I have the Broadway composer of Tootsie on, and then I'm like, and now what do you got for the Jets game this week? It's a little awkward, but that's the way it is. And actually, speaking of which, starting on January 5th, we will switch formats, and this will be called the Comedy Cellar Weekly Show, and we will make it a talk show that we will continue as we have to keep the Comedy Cellar alive because it is now closed for COVID, as we were trying to keep it open, especially the restaurant open, but the city is a mess and everything else is a mess. So we try and keep everything alive and see our friends on YouTube every night, every Tuesday night at least, on this Comedy Cellar format. This is a very strange evening because, again, when I was putting together a football show, I never thought I'd be competing with football. I mean, it's on a Tuesday night. I thought it was going to be safe, but there's actually a game on this evening. I get with the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. They're playing right now. And I said, well, maybe I'll just switch it to Wednesdays. But last week there was a game on Wednesday. There's no way to win. It's COVID, people. It's a disaster. But how are you? And thank you so much for joining us today. Let me introduce our lovely panel of guests this evening in no particular order. To my particular left, his podcast is entitled Thick Skin, which you can find on SoundCloud and iTunes, of course. He should be continuing his Bumping Mike's tour with Dave Attell so far, starting in February, if things go back to normal. He is and will always be the Roastmaster General. Please say hello to Jeffrey Ross, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Great to see you guys. Hello, Comedy Cellar family.
And to my right, her podcast is called Relatively Sane. It's on the Art 19 network and, of course, all your favorite streaming platforms. She will be live streaming her show called Disgusting Hawk on Thursday at 9 p.m. That's 2 days from today, and you can purchase tickets on her website. Please welcome Jessica Kirson, everybody.
Hi, everyone. This is such a treat. Thank you for having me, Dave.
Thank you for doing it. And I'm sorry, this is the way it comes. Beneath me, no, because that's the way it appears on my screen. But of course, that doesn't mean anything. It's weird when it's a woman down there. He's appeared on The Late Show and can be heard in the movie Ice Age 2. His comedy album is entitled What Women Want, and it's available on iTunes. Please welcome Brian Scott McFadden, everybody.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Great to be here on House Arrest Hollywood Square. Right.
I know, it's super fun time. This is a good array of folks. I'm very excited that you could all make it. And as you see, Jessica's got this wonderful new curtain behind her that makes her look more professional. And
I phoned it in. I phoned it in, Dave, is where you're headed.
Well, actually, yours looks, well, Jeff's background is, of course, classic. Mine is at the Comedy Show, which makes sense. But actually, Brian, yours looks the most adult.
Yeah, I'm at the Strand bookstore here. This is where I'm.
Brian looks like he's streaming from Dr. Fauci's office.
Right, yes. So I've got the latest updates on the COVID numbers for you guys, and you can now get it from doing podcasts on Zoom. So,
that's just a matter of time, right? But Jess, your podcast or your what is it called? Virtual. You are recording from one of the Broadway theaters downtown. Is that what it is?
Yes, I had to open the theater so that I could do the Zoom event. I got in touch and they said they would open it. So I'm just here in the theater by myself. There's like 2,000 empty seats.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're the only one this week that's live streaming, and you actually can get tickets, and there's like an audience, a virtual audience. I haven't seen how that works yet.
Well, I'm doing a live stream show, but I'm doing all characters, and I interviewed,
Oh.
I interviewed some amazing people, and it'll be something different. It's not stand up. It's all character work.
That's probably the way to go. I don't think stand-up works very well this way.
It
I know
does.
people
I
have
mean,
tried.
it
Think?
depends on what you're doing. I think the shorter the better.
Right.
45 minutes, which have made me almost start cutting. But Jeff is making me laugh so hard because he's so high right now. He was smoking, and his whole demeanor changed. Like he was like, "Hey, Jess, how are you?" And now he's like,
He'll get it back again.
I'm here for you, everybody. I'm really happy to see Brian. I haven't seen him in ages, and it's a treat. And I always love texting and riffing. And I did Jessica's podcast the other day, and I had a really good time.
Oh,
And
that's
Jessica calls me because we have to catch up every week. So this is fun. This is the highlight of my day.
"Yeah."
Well, yeah, I will say. I mean, you know, and I always show pictures, as everybody knows who watches the show every week. And you know, Jeff, I have so many pictures of Jeff. It almost wasn't fair because then it's like, well, I got to give Jessica and Brian a chance because we have so many pictures together.
But you have to realize that David and I know each other since 1990.
I'm gonna say 1991 for sure. Yeah.
I mean, before there were even pictures.
Well, that's the worst part is right there would probably we would probably have the greatest pictures if we always had a camera available of all of us so young and so all together, me and you and Attell and Sarah and Louie and everybody.
I saw Sarah and Mark Cohn the other day
for Sarah's birthday,
and they're just both, when they get together, like Mark Cohn makes us laugh so hard, and Sarah reverts to she's still kind of the same anyway. It's just it took me right back to 3rd Street and McDougal Street.
Well, Jess and I were just talking about it because Mark Cohen was on 2 weeks ago, and he makes us laugh, really more than anybody. He's just so silly, but it's brilliant, right?
What's sadder than that empty stage on the screen? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
That is.
by the way, after what is it, 10 fucking months, the fact that comedy isn't an essential business given the depression rates and the suicide and the divorce.
Nope, not even close.
Forget the comedians losing their voice, their platform. What about all the people who go to comedy for their mental health?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they can get rid of that cliche that, laughter is the best medicine now. Finally, we put a final stake in the heart of that one. Obviously, no one really bought into that narrative,
Horrible. I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And it's, and the question is, when things get back to normal, how long would it take for people to be, in a full comedy club? I mean, that'll take even, once things get, it'll slowly go back. And then, I mean, we really could be even talking about 2022, which is awful.
I have a theory, and I'd be curious what you people think, being comedians. I think comedy.
I thought you meant being Jews. You said you people. So
comedy's going to come back bigger than ever.
Oh, I agree.
Music's going to come back bigger than ever. But the one thing that will never, ever come back is close-up magic.
Right.
Are you sure?
And it's about time.
Does anybody really want to pick a card from some dirty deck? Does anyone really want some magician's dirty fingers in their ear pulling out a fake quarter? It's over for the magicians.
It's funny. You at first, he was like, "Oh, that's a funny joke," but then after you just made the examples, I'm like, "No, Jesus Christ, he's right." And the funny thing, I remember David Copperfield always talking about, like, whenever he has a special or whenever he's interviewed, he's like, "Well, my favorite thing is close-up magic." And I don't know whether you know, but he was my camp counselor growing up. Yeah, David Copperfield, and
Really?
Yeah, and years ago, I mean, when he's 4 or 5 years older. Maybe I was 8 and whatever. He was 13. He was doing magic at this girl's birthday party. This girl, Sherry Kreiser, down the street. And I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I do magic." I'm like, "Oh, you do magic?" And because I had no idea. And then, he was really good. And the reason I guess I remember it so much is because everybody went upstairs for ice cream, and I never liked ice cream. So I stayed down, and then he asked me, what did you think of the show? And, he was like an adult because he was the counselor. So, nobody ever asks a kid, what do you think of the show? And I'm like, I don't know whether I'd end on the balloon animals, but I had things to say. But so then that was a Friday night, the Monday, it's like vivid in my memory. The Monday on the bus, he was talking about it, and he goes, I saw David Friday night, and all the kids were like, wait, you hung out with the counselor on Friday night? I'm like, we were at a party, it's not that big a deal, but it was a big deal. I was like the coolest kid in camp because I hung out with the counselor. Plus, he showed me this amazing magic trick, which I can still do, which was a close-up magic trick, but nobody touches anything, so it's okay.
Are you going to do it for us?
I don't think I can because I need a rubber band.
Oh,
What
a tease that story.
Sorry. It's a really good trip.
You had me hooked. I thought that was an intro to the piece.
Yeah, I was excited for a second. I was
we got some close-up friggin' magic far away here.
I'll tell you one thing you do want to watch if you are looking for stuff to watch, and I don't know where it's available. He had a special compiled of all of his specials, which I must have shown all my friends like in the late 90s or something. It was amazing. And it was with Claudia Schiffer as the reporter. And, she was horrible. I don't even think she spoke any English at the time. She was so pretty, nobody cared. And the best part was just that he was dating her and sleeping with her, because it just really made us think that Hitler would be so angry at that. And it really just made everybody happy. But all of his
was the greatest trick he ever pulled right there.
Got that right. Yeah.
Forget about everything else, the whatever, the Empire State Building or whatever, the
Statue of
Liberty disappearing, the Claudia Schiffer. No, I still want to figure out how he did that. That's the only trick. Somebody get Penn and Teller to explain that one to me, right? Because that's the one trick I want to know.
No, you're completely correct. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and we'll go on to the picture format of the thing. You guys can all see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is the way the show, started, is that I would go to tailgates. It was a football show, and I would always share all my tailgate stuff. This is from years ago because there's no tailgating this year. It's very unfortunate. I would go every year. We set up a big, nice, fun bar and tailgate, and there's me at the bar. Everybody's seen these pictures before. That's how I set up the thing, and then
look happy.
I was. Here's me and Jeff at a legendary tailgate. That was.
That me?
Yeah, it's hard to see because it's dark, but yes, this was I hated going to night games, but this was a Thursday night game on September 24th, 2015. Perfect weather. We got there at 3 p.m. It was perfect. And it was like, it was a great night. It was the first, when they have the night games early in the season, it turns out, it's okay. And we had a really good time. It turns out that this is my friend from high school, Lee, and he married Jeff's cousin. I mean, it's really weird, and that it all worked out.
I love the fact that Jeff seems to have repressed all memory of this.
No.
Well, no, but my memory was bright out. So when it cut to the nighttime, I didn't think that was the same day.
It was bright when we first got there, yeah, and then it got dark around 6:30.
But now I see my cousin Laura and Lee, and I know that was a great day. It
was a really fun day.
I had fun, but it was definitely the best day of Juskow's life because it was all his high school friends and his comedy friends all coming together for what he loves the most, which is drinking in a parking lot.
Yeah.
He's absolute. That's not even a joke. It's like my favorite thing to do, especially living in New York City, a wide open drinking space like that. It's fantastic. And here's, he might be the roast master general, but I'm the prop master general. And as you can see,
wow.
I'm like, what? I'm going to drink all this?
Wow.
It's the stupidest.
What was that, a VIP suite or something?
Yeah. That's the Campo Wine Bar. That's where I usually hang out and watch all the games. I hate actually watching the football games. I only like drinking in the parking lot. And here's Jeff having a business meeting in the parking lot earlier that day.
Wow.
As you can see.
This looks like it was the next morning. Like you guys hung out the whole night drinking and you woke up in that parking space. That's what that looks like.
It's happened before.
This is amazing, Juskow. This is
I know.
amazing.
I love this picture. It's so funny.
I want to frame that. That's so cute.
First, the fact that you can sit Indian style is a miracle right there, and then
You, you,
it
you
was
guys
really
can make
cool.
fun of me all you want, but
I wasn't making fun. It's really
the
hard to
reason
sit
that
Indian
I'm
style.
sitting there on the phone is because Juskow got to the game 7 hours early.
Exactly.
After a while, you just got to, take a break from talking about fucking football and
I wasn't talking about. I just like talking about drinking, and here's us eating.
Oh my God.
That's his deli.
That's a great picture.
We went to town that day.
Look at your face, Dave. That
So I'm
is,
looking at. I'm like, that fry looks delicious,
you
and
look like
it was.
Yeah, this looks like a picture of like you, David Juskow, with some MMA fighter or something like that. That's what that looks like there.
That was such a great night, and now Katz's Deli delivers now.
oh wow.
So, yeah,
Wow.
they've been doing ever since COVID. They've been delivering. I've sent packages to people. It's really fun. And here's us.
David Tell gave me that bitch hat.
Here's us eating at Wolfgang's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
We have a lot of pictures of Jeff and I eating.
Wow. I
Obviously,
can't believe we're not fatter than we are.
I know it's true. That's Russ Maneve, of course. I think that was his birthday.
And Russ looking very slim as always.
Oh, please. It's but that was one of his eating days. He only eats every 4 days. So it's exciting to watch him eat.
Is he like
on
a
his eating.
breatharian? What is it like?
I don't know. It's some sort of method that it seems to work. He certainly stays thin, but yeah, he only eats every three or 4 days, right?
Wow.
Look how good that food looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It looks unbelievable. Look at that steak. It's so
look at the onion
amazing.
rings.
Yeah, the
Wow.
onion rings, the fried. This was cream spinach. Oh
Spinach
God.
always goes
It
fast.
was once Juskow got a hold of it.
And here's us just before we were going to eat with my family. This was I don't know. This was a Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2 years ago, 3 maybe.
With B. Arthur sweatshirt. You look great, Juskow. Everyone
Yeah, that's
thinks-
right.
Do you know what Mick Jones from The Clash looks like? Juskow really looks like Mick Jones from there's my B. Arthur hoodie.
I definitely used to look like Mick Jones in the 90s for sure.
Mm.
That's my sister and her kids. This is a sad picture in a way. It's me from last Wednesday. This is me and Liz from the Cellar and Andy Fiore eating. And the sad part is that Liz has now all this time to just go out and hang out. It's good and bad. It's like the picture you don't want to see because Liz is a workaholic.
Right.
And, normally she doesn't have time. But, now we have time to sit and drink margaritas with crazy straws.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a recent photo.
This was Wednesday.
Wow. You look sinister.
This was Thursday. Now all I do is go. I go out in these. I like to go out and eat in the restaurants. I don't mind. This is my friend Alina. She's a what do you call it? Frontline healthcare, or she's a nurse at one of the hospitals here in the city. And so when she has a
she's
day
not
off,
wearing a mask. Good to see.
well, not when we're sitting down to eat.
I know. Kidding. I don't care.
And here's me and my friend Memo on Sunday. That's all I do. I've been trying to get out more because I can't take it anymore. I tell you, I can't take it.
Wow. He looks like he just got fired from a band that's about to be successful.
Now this is Timothy Chalamet. I think that's how you pronounce his name. In the Woody Allen movie A Rainy Day in New York, and I took the screenshot of it because it is right, as you can see, by the Comedy Cellar. I don't know whether you guys saw this movie. It's not easy to find. He just had a new movie come out called Rifkin's Festival. This was the one that was, banned on Amazon, so it's hard to find. It was pretty good. But I got to say it's his worst directed movie I've ever seen because it's called A Rainy Day in New York, and clearly if you see the movie, it must have been sunny every day in Manhattan because you can see the rain was put, like this guy's carrying an umbrella, but no one else, everybody's walking, it's completely sunny. And it's supposed to be raining in every shot, and it's very obvious that it's crystal clear weather.
Aren't they supposed to have a continuity guy that's onto stuff like that? What happened?
He's
there?
like 83 years old, and the movie looks like it's made by an 83-year-old man. It's very lazily directed, but it is not.
Yeah,
What?
remind me to tell you my Woody Allen story.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you tell it now?
My dad was in Annie Hall.
Shut up.
Yes, but
That's the coolest.
Yes, my dad was in Annie Hall. Unfortunately, his scene did not make the final cut of Annie Hall. But my father said if there was one piece of film he wanted to he would love to have. It's a scene in Annie Hall that my father played a game show host, and Woody Allen would audition people. He wouldn't even like audition you. Like he still supposedly he looks at people and he just comes in, he meets with you and he goes, "Oh, you're good." Like he didn't even have my father read. My father, was a comic actor and voiceover guy and did a lot of commercials. And my father played a game show host who was hosting a game show, and Woody Allen's character, Albie, was watching this game show. And my father's like, "You could win one of these great prizes." And Woody Allen starts talking to the TV going, "This is crap. I can't believe people actually watch this. You know what I mean? It's horrible. It's moronic. You know what I mean?" And my father starts talking back to him. "What's your problem, buddy?"
Oh, wow.
"Yeah, what's your problem? Why don't you turn the channel? I'm entertaining people here." "Oh, but you're doing garbage. I mean, this is crap."
Wow.
"Yeah, look, another loser. Anyway, we got stuff to do here." And that was a scene,
Wow.
with my dad. Yeah.
What was his name? What's his name?
What's that?
Reggie McFadden.
Bob McFadden. Yeah, Reggie McFadden. Bob McFadden. He was a voiceover guy, actor.
He was a famous voiceover guy. I remember that.
Yeah, he was on the Thundercats with
Wow.
he was Snarf on the Thundercats, and he was Frankenberry cereal. My dad was,
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Did he get to see you perform?
I could picture the voice actually.
Yeah, he got to see me. Yeah, he got to see me. He came to a bunch of shows. He came at the Hackensack where
Bananas.
Main Street Comedy Cafe. Jeff, remember those old days?
Of course, buddy. Of course. That's awesome. He must have been proud of you.
What's funny is that sounds like a hilarious scene. It's amazing that they cut it. I mean, that's how good Annie Hall was. That sounds hilarious. That seems like a scene I would have remembered for years, and people would have, redone just like the Marshall McLuhan scene. And it's just, I mean, to cut something that sounds so good, it's like that's how much material he had. Where he's like, "Oh, we don't need this." It's
right.
It's really
so
funny,
it was like a class, but it didn't like make it. It was like similar to other things in the movie where he interacted with characters, and I think the Marshall McLuhan scene and other thing. I guess that's why they cut it. But I'm dying to meet Woody Allen and just go up to him and go, "You owe me a scene in a film." I did that. I'm dying to use that line on him. I've been waiting for 30 years to use that line and go up to Woody Allen and go, "Woody, you got to put me in your movie. You cut my dad out. You owe me one." I'm just dying. So if anybody knows Woody Allen, tell him to book me. And it might be late here getting to the table on this one, but
when you see him, you just got to start doing the scene the way you do it and see if he recognizes it. And then when the moment he gets it, you go, "Yes, you cut that out. It's great.
That's funny.
McLuhan, you owe me."
Or you have to do
nobody would know that scene unless you know what I mean? Because it got cut out. So nobody's ever seen it. It's not on the DVD. It wasn't.
No, he doesn't. No, he does. That's the worst part. You have the worst director in history to have a deleted scene with, because it'll never see the light of day.
Never.
Maybe when he dies, we'll get to see some stuff, but he's probably got everything locked up so tight. But when you see him, you have to do "Oh, you don't remember me, do you?"
Yeah.
1977. I was a young boy. My father.
Best Picture Oscar, Best Picture 1977. You know what I'm talking? It's unbelievable. Great.
This was the last person to ever perform at the Comedy Cellar, comedian Nick Griffin.
Wow.
In the little bubble that they have. Brian, did you get to perform in the bubble, Jess?
I did not perform in the bubble. No, I did not. That looks like some kind of museum exhibit.
I know, isn't that funny?
It really does. It's like, see the comedian in his natural in his unnatural habitat.
I know. These were the good times at the Cellar. This was one of the best New Year's Eve I ever had. All my friends, Artie and Jeff and Sarah, and Artie he's clean shaven. His hair, it's like when Pigpen used to take a shower and then he was clean for like 30 seconds until he got disheveled again. But he really looks like Jackie Gleason here. I love that picture.
That's great.
And see, there's Jessica Kirson and at a lovely, nice, big place, just sitting like, coronavirus. What's that?
Jessica, what was this picture for? You look like you're like, "Can I get the fuck out of here, please?"
What is this? What is this? What was going on in this shot, Jess?
I was filming for this week at the Comedy Cellar, and they were doing like a thing on me that week, and I was like, "Can we stop recording now?"
And here's Brian actually performing at the real Comedy Cellar, which is a miracle. We may never see the likes of this again. Who knows? And because now, look what it's come to. Here's Jessica performing in an alleyway on the east side. They supposed to
Oh my
how
God,
did you get that
that's
picture? It's
hilarious.
like in Crimes and Mystery. I was lurking in the back and I saw you guys. And
Did you take that picture?
yes.
Oh my God, how sad is look, Jeff, look
Yeah.
my
Look what it's come to.
This is what
finale.
it's come to this.
And they
Yeah.
all looked they were not energetic. They looked down.
This was an alleyway next door to a synagogue, I believe, or a church or something. It was,
Oh, it was next to the
Wow.
synagogue. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's
They weren't
what
a good crowd.
They all looked scared and sad.
yeah.
They did.
I mean, look where they are. It's the garbage alley. I mean, it's like they want to have a good time, but it's
Yeah.
tough. But they still, you did really well.
This is the luxury of show business. You're performing like 20 feet from the recyclables. You know what I mean? It's just like so sad. Look at that shot of the.
That's what it's come. What about this one?
Oh yeah.
Here's Brian. This is what it's come to.
I got that mask on eBay.
What the hell's going on? Jeff, are you all right?
I'll mute while the dogs bark. Hold on.
What were you saying, Brian?
No, I got that mask. That's an actual like gas mask, like one of those World War One gas or whatever gas mask. I got that on eBay after 9/11.
Really?
Because
Oh,
the
you
air
got it
quality-
for real after 9/11.
after the real 9/11, I bought that on eBay because supposedly the air quality was bad. I just bought it. I never put it on. I never used it. I threw it in the back of my closet, and I never took it out. Never took it even out of the box. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, "Oh, you got to buy a mask." Oh God! And I was like, I think I have some kind of mask somewhere. And I went fishing in the back of my closet and found that thing. It has like one of those canisters on the bottom. I think I took it off because it's so heavy. And I took it, and that became. I think the guy took a shot of me for the New Yorker
Right.
magazine or
The New York
something.
Times. Yeah, they got in trouble for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Well, I took this picture. I just seemed to go by all the comedy clubs last week. This is the West Side Comedy Club, obviously not in business. Do you know what this is?
No.
This is
Dangerfields.
Dangerfields. That's right. Brian got it. This is Dangerfields,
My God.
permanently closed. And this, I just walked past Wednesday, the old Boston Comedy Club.
Oh wow.
I mean, what is happening? I know this has been gone for a long time, but it's just even the Chinese restaurant that was here is out of business. This is a sad picture. This is, Jeff, I think I've taken you here, Fiore's Pizza, which I arguably thought was the best pizza place in town. I really thought they had the best pizza. This is my friend Steve. In this photo here, it was his place. He's a fireman. He had all the fire guys there. He named it after a guy that died in 9/11 in the towers. There's me and Irene Bremis. I don't know if you know her. That's is her husband. And it was great. And every year we'd have a party like this with pizza on the tables and everything. And
wow.
it was terrific. It just closed. Sunday was its last day because of COVID. It's on Bleecker Street, right in the middle. And, it's like, he's not made for takeout. He's made for people coming up and having a slice,
Yeah.
And that was the beautiful pizza. Look how delicious it looks.
God.
Wow.
It was wonderful. There's Colin and him. Everybody came in. All the celebrities, even Rachel Feinstein. Yeah, it was great.
How's Rachel's baby?
Oh, so adorable. So adorable. Just tell her that she looks pretty here so I don't get in trouble.
She looks great there.
I thought you might like this one, Jeff, because I took this picture of a dog in a stall, in the bathroom stall, which I thought was great because, it's this guy's feet, and then this dog has his own stall.
That's so funny.
And then I was hoping it was a dog, but then when he put his face down, I realized it definitely was.
If you lifted up the other legs and moved the other guy's feet over, that would look like some kind of minotaur or something.
Yeah, right. That's why I was going to, when the dog finally I'm like, that is a dog, right? I mean, and I was wondering if Jeff could tell us who this dog looks like.
It looks like a cross between Charlie Callis.
There's only one answer.
Only one.
Marty Feldman. Marty Feldman.
Oh, Marty
I
Feldman.
was going to say Marty Feldman, but Charlie Callis came.
Well, I
quick.
guess Charlie Callis too, but I just bought these for Thursday. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
And let me also say happy birthday to my Aunt Judy, who was born on Pearl Harbor Day. Not on Pearl Harbor Day, but I mean December 7th, because she's watching now. These are just some, it's the time of the season. I took this as the beautiful Gramercy Park. I would walk around town, this is the Bloomingdale's windows. It looks like they didn't do too much this year. Looks like they slacked off a little bit. Here's me. This is where I go to Hoboken to make my bets, to gamble on football. And I took this picture. It's beautiful. This is on Saturday. I took this. This is the sun setting like around 4:30 in the city.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
I'm just there for the wrong reasons, for degenerate gambling reasons. And Jeff, I thought here's Bob Greenberg performing to a senior center. He's doing his Jackie Gleason bit.
You went to this?
No, I just found the picture. I think he sent it to me.
That is a great shot.
Isn't that awesome? He's so committed to it. It's so awesome.
He does a great Jackie Gleason.
Yeah. Well, I have a picture too. I should have brought it with me. One time for a corporate gig, he played the skipper and I played Gilligan. Wow. And he just kept hitting me with his hat. And then when there was nobody around, he kept in character. I'm like, stop it. There's nobody here. And he goes, all right, little buddy. Like, he would not get out of character. And it was driving me insane. But this happened to me this Saturday. It's a place called Bub's Knishes. And they just named one of their knishes the Juskow.
Yeah.
It's a taco knish, bold and spicy, just like the person it's named after.
I'll bet that's more exclusive than a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Can I ask Jessica a question about quarantine? While we're on the subject of food, you have little kids, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, you must be going out of your fucking mind. Do you have to order in or?
I'm out of my mind. No, we cook a lot. I go to the store and mask and gloves and get stuff, and we get a lot from Amazon. But it's a lot. There's nowhere to bring them, and now it's freezing out. It's
exactly. But you can order these online.
Those look good.
Oh, there's Jessica and Robert De Niro, who apparently everybody has a picture with, except me. There's Jeff and Brian with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I might have.
And Mickey Freeman.
Wow.
Who? Mickey Freeman?
That was my grandmother's favorite comic of all time.
He's the best guy ever. He was such a sweetheart.
Loved him.
I remember that night.
Yeah. Good stuff, right?
That was a really fun trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I thought you might like it. And now it's, of course, time for our football picks.
What?
Yep. Last week, the audience did the worst ever. They're usually really good. They got 3 right. Of course, this depends on what's happening right now. 3. The audience usually kicks our ass. Look, I'm catching up to them. And who won? Wendy Liebman won the week. She knows nothing about football, which just goes to show the best people that get paid for this kind of shit know nothing, which is why when Jessica says, I don't know anything about football, I'm like, it doesn't matter.
I love football.
You know what I mean? You don't, well, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this show was about football. That's how little
really? It is. So, yeah, we make our picks here.
Yeah, I didn't think football was even going to come up. I thought.
Oh, no, it's here. We make all our picks every week. We have 4 more weeks to go.
Give Brian a break. He's here to give us some COVID updates.
I'm only here for the COVID updates. That's it.
All right. Well, we're going to start with, we'll just breeze through. We will start with this Thursday's game with the Patriots against the LA Rams. I have no problem taking the Patriots plus the 6 points. Jeff Ross, your thoughts?
I got to go with the Patriots. The Gronk's a friend of mine, and he invited me.
He does not play with the Patriots anymore. He now plays with the Buccaneers.
All right, I got to go with the Buccaneers.
Where then I'll put that in for now. That's the next one. So, Jess, what do you think?
Oh, I got to go with LA.
Okay, that's fine. I'll know the difference. Jessica, what were you going to say?
The Patriots.
Brian?
Yeah, the Patriots kicked ass last week. They're probably due.
45-0.
Yeah.
Mike, what does the audience say?
They're saying Rams.
They're saying Rams minus the points. I'm only going, I think the Rams might win, but I don't like the 6 points. So Jeff already picked the Buccaneers minus 6.5 for the Vikings. I don't have any problem with that. The Vikings are odd. Jess, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers because I like the horns.
No, the horns would be the Vikings then.
Oh shit.
That's okay. All right, so you're taking the Vikings.
I know Flavor Flav had a football team.
Brian?
Yeah, well, since I'm going with the Patriots up there, I'll go with Brady and the Buccaneers down below here.
That's good reasoning. Mike, the audience says,
Bucks.
aren't they embarrassed with their picks last week?
Well, a lot of them weren't here, and there was a lot of weird ties, so probably my fault for being the tiebreaker.
Wow, Mike, I can't believe you admitted that. That was the last thing you'd had to.
Who
You
the
should have
fuck
just
is
said, yeah, they're really embarrassed. Here's
Who's
the
Mike? Who's Mike?
Mike's the producer of the show.
Oh,
See him at the bottom, Cellar producer. He's the best. These are the New York Giants who beat Seattle in an upsetter and now in first place somehow, only winning 5 games. And the Cardinals, who are kind of falling apart. I don't know what to do in this one. Jeff, I'm going to let you go first.
I mean, I'm a New Yorker, Jersey boy. Got to go with the Giants.
Jess, what do you think?
Absolutely same.
Brian, do you feel similar?
Yeah, I mean the Giants, the NFC East. I'm
That's
in
crazy.
second place in the NFC East. That's-
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll go with the Giants. Got to go with that.
I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Why?
I don't know. I think I want them to win. I really can't stand the Giants. I don't know. Even though I go to all the tailgates. I think I'm just jealous because I'm the Jets fan and I don't want when the Giants do well. It's not fair. What does the audience say, Mike?
They're saying Cards as well.
Excellent. Although if you think about last week, then not so much. Here's the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs against the Miami Dolphins, who are playing well. Kansas City's not blowing anybody out. It's hard to play in Miami. I'm going to take Miami Dolphins plus 7.5, which is crazy. Brian, do you want to go next?
KC.
It's probably the smart
KC.
move.
Yeah,
Okay.
7. Come on.
7.5.
7. All right.
That
Yeah,
hook.
but yeah.
Jess?
KC, Florida's really annoying me lately.
You're right. Jeff?
I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one.
All right. What does the audience say?
They're tied right now.
So it's up to you.
I'm gonna say Finns because Chiefs were really shitty last week.
They sure were. They've been shitty for the past couple. They keep winning, but they're not winning the way we expect them to win, especially when we're betting on them. That's a message to Pat Mahomes. Here are the.
Wait, we got to do all of these fucking games? We're
Yeah,
gonna
there's
be-
a lot of work.
It's the way it works.
At these prices, at these prices, I have to.
When do the wings get here? I'm starving.
This is the Tennessee Titans against the Jaguars. I have no problem taking a backdoor cover with the Jaguars. Jeff, what do you think?
I'm going to go with, I'll go with whatever you say on this one.
Okay, you go with the Jaguars. Jessica?
The Titans, and I don't know why.
Oh, that's okay. It's a good bet. They're very, very good. Brian?
Jags plus 7. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I think. What does the audience say, Mike?
They're saying Titans.
Saying
Yes.
Titans.
They're saying more
no.
pictures of street corners from Jessica.
They're coming. Here's the Bengals, who are kind of quarterbackless against the Dallas Cowboys, who are playing tonight. So we really don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. Jessica, I'm going to let you go first.
The cheerleaders, the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. That's a good way to bet.
I'm a
actually.
big Tony Romo fan, so I'll go with the Dallas Cowboys. Does he still play?
No. Brian?
What is it? It's only 3?
3.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's got to be the Cowboys on that.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, you think? 3?
I'm gonna take the Bengals. What does the audience say?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. I don't know. They're not playing very good, but the Bengals aren't playing that great. I don't know. Here's a really shitty matchup. The horrible Chicago Bears against the Houston Texans. I don't really have any problem taking the Houston Texans. Jeff, how do you feel?
I'll go with the Bengals.
They're not playing.
The Tigers? What is that?
It's the Bears or the Texans.
Bears. The Bears. It's like a
Oh,
German.
I thought you were making a joke. Jess, what do you think?
The Bears.
The Bears. Brian?
I'm going to take the Cubs.
Okay.
No, I'm going with the no. I'm not going with them. Give me.
Oh.
Yeah, no. JJ Watt alone is worth 1.5 points. So give me. I'll
No
take
problem.
The Texans.
Mike, the audience?
Well, a bunch of people voted for the last one now. Now they're saying Bengals, not Cowboys.
Oh, okay. I can switch.
And it's looking like Texans on this one.
Yeah, that's the right move. Here are the Carolina Panthers against the Denver Broncos. It's minus 3.5. I'm gonna take the Panthers. I don't know why. Jeff, what do you think?
I'll take the Panthers.
Jess?
What's the other team?
The Denver Broncos.
Someone's honking at someone's house. I'll take the Broncos.
It seems like it's Jeff's house. He has a lot of activity going on there. Brian?
Can I bet for a push? Can I?
Well, unfortunately, no, because it's 3.5.
I'll bet you no one wins and no one scores in this game. All right, give me the Broncos.
Okay. And what does the audience say?
Panthers.
It's the Panthers. Here's the Seattle Seahawks, who were embarrassed last week, playing the winless, horrible New York Jets. I have no problem taking the Seahawks to be just really angry and take it out on the Jets. Jeff, what do you think?
I got to go with the Jets, man.
Okay. Jessica?
I have to go with the Jets too.
You guys are nuts.
After
Joe Namath still Joe Namath, because I'm a big Joe Namath fan.
No, he's not playing.
So funny.
playing.
Brian, what are you going to say?
Reggie Jackson.
If Joe Namath was playing, they'd have a better shot,
I
actually.
agree.
That's how bad things are on the Jets. I have absolutely, after last week's debacle, I have absolutely no problem whatsoever envisioning Seattle beating them 49 to nothing, to minus, actually losing points.
I'm with you 100%. Audience?
Seahawks.
Yeah. Here's the Raiders, who got lucky last week against the Colts. I'm going to take the Colts. Brian, you want to go next?
Aren't the Raiders? Where are the Raiders in the standings?
I think they're in second place in the West, right below KC. And
They
that
have a
win was a
shot.
big deal.
Yeah, I'll take the Raiders.
Jess
I'll take the Raiders.
and Jeffrey.
I'll take the horseshoes.
Okay. What does the audience say?
Raiders.
We went through that fast. Wasn't sure if they were ready. Here's the San Francisco 49ers losing yesterday to the Bills, and Washington beating the previously undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a really interesting one. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm going to let Brian guess first.
Oh, really? Where's San
Yes.
Francisco in this?
They're playing in Arizona, San Francisco.
They're playing in Arizona. San Francisco is playing in Arizona.
Yeah, because of COVID, they won't let them play in San Francisco anymore.
And Wednesday is Sunday at Carvel.
You got that right.
How's that for an old reference?
I love it.
Since the Washington doesn't even have a name,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like you can't.
The Washington Football Club.
It's Washington is like Prince. They have an unpronounceable symbol. Okay, so you can't even. They don't even have anything. So I'm going to go with them just for the chutzpah to not name their team. They deserve that.
I like it. Jess, what do you think?
The W.
Okay, Jeff.
Can we move this along? I have a Zoom with Jeffrey Toobin in a few minutes.
Make a pick. We'll move it along.
San Francisco.
I am going to go with San Francisco, too. What does the audience say?
49ers.
Yep. Here's the Saints against the horrible Eagles. I have no problem taking the Saints, even though they don't have Drew Brees. Jeff, what do you think?
I'll go with the Eagles.
Jessica?
Saints.
Brian?
There's an old saying: you never lose money betting against the NFC East. Give me the Saints.
Smart. And what does the audience say?
Eagles.
Eagles. Interesting. They're taking the points, obviously. Oh, maybe because they benched Carson Wentz, actually. I hadn't thought about that. Here's the Chargers at the Atlanta Falcons, or the Falcons at the Chargers. Boy, the Chargers got killed last week, 45-0. I think I actually have to take the Falcons in this one. Jeff, what do you think?
I'll go with the Falcons. That's fine.
Jess?
I'm going to just be wild and say the Chargers.
I'm surprised you're not taking the Falcons because it's close to the Hawk, like that.
It's
It's a
my
new show. Brian,
Falcons.
what does the audience say?
They are. They're still coming in right now. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. I'll move on. Here's the horrible Detroit Lions against the Green Bay Packers. That's a tough one because 7.5 points. Lions have an interim coach, and they always seem to do well. I'm going to take the Packers. I'm not putting money on the Lions. Jeff, what do you think?
What's that animal?
Lions, Detroit.
I'll take that.
Okay, it's probably the smart move. Jess?
I'm gonna go with Green Bay. I like Green Bay.
Or as Carmen Lynch calls it, the Blue Lions. I'll take the Blue Lions.
Where are they playing?
In Detroit.
Give me
Here I
Detroit.
am with some of the teammates.
I see that. You take Detroit. And Mike, do you have 2 audience picks?
Yeah, they're going Chargers and Green Bay.
Okay. And now the Sunday night game, which is a big game, the
That's a
Bills
great game.
against the Steelers. Yeah, that'll be a really good one. Bills at home. This is a tough one. Pittsburgh coming off a loss. I'm going to take the Bills.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think?
Well, everyone knows I love the Steelers, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Jess?
I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Brian?
I'm going with O.J. Simpson's old team, the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to guess the audience is saying the Bills.
They're still coming in, actually.
Still coming in. We'll move on. And this is the Monday night game. For some reason, Cleveland kicking some ass against the Baltimore Ravens, who are playing now, so it's tough to judge. I'm going to take Cleveland at home.
Woo!
Jeff, what do you think? Go with
You
your
know
boy
what?
Drew Carey?
I've been thinking about this one all day, but I think nobody beats Cleveland at home. I'll go with Cleveland at home.
Okay. Jessica?
Well, if Jeff said no one beats Cleveland at home, I have to pick Cleveland.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't used to be that way, but this year. Brian?
Duh, Browns.
All right, Mikey, we need 2 picks from the audience. What's it going to be?
Bills and the Browns.
The Bills and the Browns, the home teams. And those are our picks for this week. Nice. All right. So, and we have like one more segment, and then we'll let everybody go to whatever they have to do. Jess, you have something you have to do later, right?
Yes.
And Jeff does 2. Well, of course, it's only 6 o'clock out there. How is sunny LA? It's freezing here, you know. Is it nice?
Are we going to
Jeff?
hear about Jessica's new show or not?
Yeah, will you tell us about it?
Yeah, no, I'm doing a live stream event on Thursday night. That's what I'm doing, Jeff. And I have some guests on that I'm interviewing, and I'm doing all characters. It's very different. It's not stand up. And then I'm doing like a long Q&A after where people.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's
You're
really
having
cool.
the characters interview people?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, I'm going to watch
sounds
that.
interesting.
It's streaming live on Thursday at 9, and you can get tickets on her website.
Yes.
Let's just get out of this.
Did we do okay, Jessica, with the football picks? Or
I think you did outstanding. Here's the this where you show some of the this Brian, of course, was the last play of the Jets game last week. God damn it. I show every week. You show the Jets stinking so much. This was with 13 seconds.
Do you think they purposely I've never seen anything like that in my entire watching football, and it basically a blitz on a Hail Mary. I've never seen that.
That's why the Jets don't have a win. They stink. Yeah. Everything about them stinks. Their organization stinks. And if it could get any worse, this was taken on Sunday. I mean, this sums up the season. I didn't Photoshop this.
Is that where you park your city bike?
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like hoping. I knew somebody was going to have something.
Wow.
This is Cam Newton coming out of the tunnel in Los Angeles, all by himself. He doesn't need any help, and him scoring a touchdown all by himself. It looks like no one else is playing there. It's so weird. And here's a guy he was playing with. Who's this?
Wow.
Oh, is that Jeff Ross? I'm sorry.
What? Where'd you get that?
Don't worry about it. I do a deep dive.
I still have that clock.
Isn't this the funniest thing ever?
I
There's
was
a
a
manly
senator.
Jeff Ross.
Wow, that looks like Union, New Jersey in the 70s.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. How do you explain this one?
That's my sister Robin and me, and we're all cuddly. I talked to her today. She's
Isn't
doing
that cute? You know, your cousin sent me these knowing you were going to be on today, so I thought we'd surprise you. This was
last weekend working out.
This was a thing that the players all did. They made their sneakers have it's called something for cleats. Brian, do you know what it was? Something, something for cleats, it was like care for cleats, something like that. So they all did. This is Project McFadden or McManus. Adopt ASPCA. I thought Jeff would like that one.
Yeah.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Right.
And of course, everybody's favorite, the Jewish Defense League. Which
I have stamp out rickets. I have so.
This was the Sandy Koufax shoe.
But when you put your foot in your mouth.
I had 2 of these last week. They're back. I talk about them all week. I couldn't believe it. They were
Wow.
just as delicious as I remember. Yes.
Oh yeah.
This, my friend Elon put this together. The Hess Morgue Christmas, the Hess truck this year. The Hess Morgue truck. Elon Altman. He writes. He wrote a couple, like one roast joke for Jeff last time. This is these monoliths have been being. Nobody knows what was happening. People have been putting this monoliths all over town. This was in Utah. I don't know if you remember, like the monoliths from the 2001.
Yeah, how did did they figure out what happened?
I think they found out that it was some artist and he was just putting them all over. I think they finally figured out who it is, like a Banksy kind of guy or something. He's putting these monoliths up. But then I was thinking, when I was seeing these apes and I was seeing your background before, it's really funny. I don't know what it reminded me of, the $6 Million Man, where he met Bigfoot in a 4-part episode.
Oh yeah,
with the Bionic Woman. And then I was like doing a deep dive where it turns out every show in the 60s and 70s had to have a gorilla or ape of some kind. There's Lurch, there's Morticia.
It's the same, and it's the same gorilla.
It's the same gorilla.
Yeah.
There's Gilligan's Island, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
Fucking Wonder Woman. I don't know what the deal is with why it was so important to have an ape episode. This is a new book that just came out this week called They Just Seem a Little Weird, How Kiss, Cheap Trick, Aerosmith, and Stars, a band I'd forgotten about, remade rock and roll. And I know Jeff likes Kiss, so I put together our solo albums of all of us.
Oh, that is wow.
Little action.
I don't ever want to see that again.
That's amazing. You should have used that to promote the tonight instead of that ugly fucking Photoshop you made of us.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Photoshop. That was just our pictures.
That's
the
was
one
cool.
I put up every week.
I want to copy that.
That's fantastic. That's a fantastic shot.
Yeah. Oh, I know you have a lot of Kiss albums in your house, Jeff. I know people keep giving
I'm a
that
big
to you,
Kiss
right?
fan. That was my first concert I ever saw in 1979 at the Madison Square Garden, and my mom was really sick, so my Aunt Carol took my sister and I. We were, little kids. First live concert, and it was the greatest thing ever. Amazing. We sat in the last row. It's still the best day of my life. Pyrotechnics, the whole thing. And then they finally get to the encore, the one song, like Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day. And my Aunt Carol was like, all right, kids, the last bus at Port Authority.
Oh, shut up. No.
Right when all the fireworks went off and my favorite song started, my Aunt Carol made us leave.
Oh, that's I was just going to say, it can't be because of traffic. You're at Madison Square Garden. That's like the one place you don't have to leave early.
Yeah.
No, we were taking the bus, and she didn't want to wait for
And it's so funny. I was just about to say, God damn it. The only concert I took my niece to was Katy Perry. That ain't going to be cool, like years from now. I mean, your aunt taking it to Kiss is way cool, and then she turned out to be not cool, because that's something you always remember. You made us leave before the biggest song of the night. Oh no!
She was cool. I forgave her. It took about 10 years.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I know. I always wanted to be that with my niece and stuff, but I wanted to see Katy Perry, so I took that because I wanted to go. It was a great concert, by the way. That, and I saw The Weeknd. He was amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing.
Yeah, that guy. It was unbelievable. He just went out into the center and just sang with no instruments or anything for an hour.
Wow.
He was terrific. I was taking my friend Ashley, and I wasn't expecting it to be so great. And
I knew him when he was Monday through Friday.
I was hoping we would hit that mark. So, Jeff, what I mean? Oh, that's so nice. Somebody wrote one of our people to happy birthday, Aunt Judy. That's very kind in the chat room. A week late, he also donated. Thank you very much. There's a donate button at the end, and we would appreciate that. Since the Cellar's closed, I pretty much have to pay for this for myself now because I wanted to keep it going. I'm trying to finish the football thing. I know it doesn't really work anymore in what we're doing, but I'm just trying to finish the 17 weeks, and then we'll move to a different format. Anyway, Jeff, it's like Jessica's got this live stream going on. Normally, this is where I give everybody their plugs. Nobody has anything going on.
Oh, I do.
What do you have going on, Jeff?
My podcast, Thick Skin with Jeff Ross on Apple Podcasts. And
Of course.
Follow me on the app Stereo, because sometimes I do the podcast on there. So follow me on Stereo app it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm going to download. We'll do something. So we're going to do something together. That'll be fun, right?
They sponsor my podcast, and it's really been like a cathartic way to like get my roast brain clicking during quarantine. And I went out a few times. Me and Craig Robinson just went on these outdoor shows and did our old Ross and Robinson from 10 years ago. And he played piano, and I would just fuck with
fun.
people. And it was really cathartic to get on stage a little bit, even though it was just outside for a few people.
Yeah, again, I was opening for Gaffigan all summer, which was, it was fun. Even though everybody was in their cars, it was just nice to be outdoors. And you know how I love parking lots. So
I went on 4 times, right? Like 2 weeks ago, and at 10 in LA, and the last one, like 10 o'clock at night is the curfew, and a freaking police helicopter flew over and like shut the show down.
Really? They made sure it was shut exactly at 10. Of course, that's the curfew it is here in the city as well.
Here.
I don't understand why there's not more outdoor shows in LA. That's also not.
It makes no sense. Like, you can do outdoor dining, but if you want to do the same thing at the Comedy Store in the parking lot and just add one person with a sanitized microphone, they shut that down.
Yeah, I did a show at Stand Up New York. We were outside. They set up everything outside, and then somebody got heckled from somebody on like the 30th floor next door. Where there was a woman yelling down. I was literally heckling someone from way only in New York. Shut up down there! Knock it off! I'm trying to sleep up here. Whatever. Who the hell?
It was like 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was like 5, and then the cops showed. Someone called and was angry, and they shut it. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh my god.
It's like I remember when comedy was legal. Now we're policed by the authorities who are trying to shut, like a porn shoot. It's the saddest thing. We're like outlaws. So right. Now we're really outlaws. You know what I mean? We're trying to mount shows like speakeasies in the back of. Jessica's in there at a restaurant with people sitting on patio chairs, and it's so.
I don't understand. What is their reasoning for shutting down an outdoor show? What is the reasoning?
They didn't have a permit. I think that might have had something to do with it.
All right, but the Comedy Store has a permit for sure. I mean, what's the reason?
It's awful. The rules don't make any sense. They're not consistent. And now everything's closed up, completely. So you can't even. There's barbershops are closed here. Gyms.
Is that right? They reclosed barbershops there too?
I have on this week on my podcast, I'm going to talk to Craig, who owns the restaurant Craig's. It's a famous Hollywood hotspot. But I know this guy a long time. He worked his way up from a maitre d' at another restaurant. Dantana's like, he has to go reinvest in his business now, and he's laying people off. And the restaurants around here, they built all these outdoor patios, spent a lot of money doing that, and now they just closed them down again.
That's not right. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And that's what happened here too. They spent a lot of money winterizing these outdoor places, and I think we're a week away from them shutting everything down again, probably here as well. I haven't heard anything yet, but I mean, everybody thinks it's coming.
They have these crazy like outdoor structures that if you look at them, you go, this is no different from being indoors, right? They're just outdoor. You've basically built another restaurant outside your restaurant, and you're as long as it's like not in the restaurant, you can actually. So as long as people are freezing to death, that's the only parameters now. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason.
That's why I was asking Jessica, like. My dogs go crazy if I don't get them on a walk. I can't imagine if you had kids in the house that they must want to go to the park. They must want to go places.
I mean, now it's freezing. There's nothing. They're inside. That's it.
Didn't one of your kids have a birthday party during COVID and you had the drive-by stuff?
Yeah.
Wasn't that you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's so ridiculous. That's
We're turning our kids into drive-by, like drive-by gangsters.
Well,
like,
did you hear Attell when Attell was in Long Island visiting his mother, and that's when I guess everybody was doing these things, and he thought he was in the middle of a protest, but it turned out it was just a drive-by for a kid's birthday party. He was like starting to panic, and he's like, everybody's honking, and he's like, oh crap, another protest. It was just some 9-year-old.
He called me last night. He sent me for Christmas. He sent me a high-end gas mask.
Oh, that's better than Brian's. I find that difficult to believe.
That one that I have.
Brian, you're going to Aruba next week, right, to perform?
I will be at I will be at the Aruba Race Comedy Club.
Yeah.
In Aruba, if you're in the area, swing by.
I mean, what's the story with a place like Aruba? I mean, what are they social distancing too? It's around the world, right?
They test you. You have to get tested before you go, and then they test you at the airport again, right? Like so they're pretty strict down there.
Well, that's good.
And so they've cracked down pretty hard. So yeah, I think it should be fun, and it's good to get out to a. Once you're on the island, once you're there, it's like, oh, everyone made it. We're all, COVID negative. All right. And then,
right.
So you can you lay your hair down.
That sounds like fun.
Yourself.
And Jess has her show on Thursday called Disgusting Hawk, where she's going to do a lot of really awesome characters at 9 p.m. You can purchase tickets on her website. Nice. And there will be a Q&A.
And you can find me find me on Twitter, B. Scott McFadden on Twitter. And I've got a podcast I just started doing because
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No one was doing it, so I decided to hop on the bandwagon and do a podcast to fill the niche that was out there for podcasts. So,
what is the format?
What's it called?
The Enlightened Comic Podcast. It's called.
Oh, okay.
Me rambling incoherently about things. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Jeff.
Oh no, that's okay. That's what I wanted to know. What else you were doing? So that's Jeff's podcast is called Thick Skin. Jess's is called Relatively Sane. And Brian's is called Enlightened
Comic Podcast.
Enlightened Comic Podcast. Mine is called The Nightfly, which you can find on
300 episodes.
Yeah, I just did 300. Yeah,
wow.
300 of a podcast nobody listens to. But I still will do it every week, just like this show, because I love bringing it to you. And next week will be no exception. Our guest will be Sam Morrell, the lovely Carmen Lynch, and musician Colin Smith will be joining us all next week.
That's what I love about your podcast, Jessica. It was 300 episodes, but it felt like 500.
And in the coming months, I will promote on the last episode of this show, we have David Wayne and Scott Aukerman on December 29th. So that's coming up in the future. So we do have the rest of the month planned, and to finish up the football and then go into our new show, which will be our Comedy Cellar Weekly show on this network, the Comedy Cellar Nightly YouTube channel. Anyway, please remember, if you can hit the donate button, that is delightful. And always remember that the Comedy Cellar someday will be back in full form, and we'll be able to bring you the best comedy club in the country and the comedy everybody deserves at this point, as Jeff slowly closes a laptop on the performance. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a great night. And
bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.